And also, before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my journey and where the model comes from. So my first professional background is as a scientist. I've got a bachelor in physics. I've got a master's in environmental planning. I've worked in corporate IT. I've worked in project management. I've worked as a trainer. I'm a certified coach. I'm a certified focusing guide, and I'm a certified NARM-informed professional. NARM is a trauma-informed approach to coaching and therapy. So all of these things are in my background. And the model that I've developed primarily comes out of my observations and my research from working with, by now, hundreds of clients over the last 7 or so years that I've been working with corporate clients and with private clients. So that's just a little about what I'm bringing to the approach. And now I'm going to share my screen with you. And just want to check, can you all see my screen? It says the rationale.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I want to point out to you that for the last 5,000 years or so, we've been living in a society that's been patriarchal. So that means that all of our organizations and all of our structures, most of them, were designed by men, for men, to meet their own needs and interests. Most organizations that we're part of, especially well-established organizations, were made by men to meet their own needs and interests, and I think specifically to meet the needs of white men, as opposed to men from ethnic minorities and so on, or men from different cultures. So as women, the organizations that we're working in and that we're part of were not made with our styles, with our energy, with our needs, with our traits in mind. And because of that, we've had to adapt. The fact that we've had to adapt is healthy. And you know, it's only been a little over a century, or in some cases less than a century, that women have had the right to vote, for instance, and that women have been allowed to have a life in public, have been able to have a life in public. And in our daily lives, we tend to forget about that. So we've had to adapt. And the fact that we've had to adapt is a good thing. I want to point out that men have to adapt as well. And it's part of how we grow up and what we need to do. So I want to point out that men and women, boys and girls, are socialized differently. So sometimes we have to adapt in different ways. Today, I'm going to be diving into a few kind of generalized styles that many people, especially women, use as a way to adapt, especially in the workplace.